It's not quite 6 a.m. and we're heading off. So big plan for today or into tomorrow as well is that we'll sail to Syracuse. Got a pretty strong northwester blowing today, but we're going to stick along the Sol. So there's quite high mountains, so we're expecting the wind to come over the top and be reasonably calm along the coast, and most importantly the sea state I'm expecting to be calm along the coast. When we poke our head out here this morning around the corner, we may get a bit of the sea on the nose for a little bit, which is just a residual from the southwester that's been blown for a couple of days. Forecasts in the Med at the moment are just not good at all. Big, cold, northerly air masses coming down, and the sea is particularly warm in the Mediterranean this year, sort of 4 to 6 degrees hotter than normal. So that just makes things unstable. So it's really going to get very bad on Friday, so we want to get to Syracuse and get ourselves tucked in before that hits. First trick is getting out of the anchorage. When we came in, we're sitting on about 4.5 meters over sand at the moment. Don is well dug in, but we do have rocks around us, and we have to come over some rocks. We had to come over some rocks when we came in. We'll have to go back over them when we go back out. So the strategy here is just to follow our same path out. Sun is probably a half an hour away from rising, so we really can't see much in the water. You ready down there, Jude? Yes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hatches done.
Just put hatches on. Oh, you want to go right now? I'll put the kettle on. Should I turn it off?
Oh, you're making a coffee?
I was. I thought you'd like.
Yeah. Let's make a coffee and then we'll go.
Welcome aboard. We are Jude and Richard. We bought a boat, got married, said goodbye to family and friends, and went sailing. We hope one day to sail the world, but right now we're exploring the spectacular Med as we build our sailing experience and develop Helios for crossing oceans. We'd love you to subscribe to our channel. It's free and it helps the channel grow. We're grateful to those who support us by joining the Sailing Helios crew. Crew get access to our episodes ad-free and enjoy lots of other exclusive content. To find out more, go to sailinghelios.com.
Well, we're just coming around the point that's provided us protection for the last couple of days, and there's not much wind. Probably got about a half metre sea, and it's a little bit all over the place, but it's fine. We're not dropping off anything. And the first real test is when we get around this next point and we open out into the next gulf. That's where I expect we'll see some wind. So, one of the concerns on a voyage like this is the sea state. In fact, that can be a whole lot worse than the wind at times. Obviously, one sort of follows the other, but a wind blowing along a lot of open sea will create a bigger sea than wind coming off the coast at the same speed. And if you run along the coast, you're not going to get anywhere near the size of seas you would out in the open. So a couple of hours time, I think we'll be around the point over there, and that'll be our first sort of test about whether we're going to carry on or not. If we don't, I've looked at the forecast, we can go back behind the point. It'll be a bit lumpy for a day, and then it should be a good shelter for the next few days if that's what we require. So we're around the point and we've just switched off the engines, 8:40 a.m. Sea's about as expected, just a bit over a metre. Not coming hard on our nose, maybe about 30 degrees off, which is good, so we're not slapping through them. We've got a breeze from about 300, 12 to 15 knots. So we're clocking along 6.5 knots. The Genera and main up. Could possibly get the code 0 up, but it might be a little bit tight. We'll see what happens with this wind. If it clocks around a bit more, we'll certainly do that. So we're going straight across the Gulf. So this is the bit where if we're going to get any rough weather, this is where we'll pop it. The weather's coming from over here, just on my starboard side. At this stage, the clouds, nothing is looking threatening from that direction. So we've got about 32, 33 nautical miles to get across the Gulf. Current pace, that'll be about 5 hours, just a bit over 5 hours. But at this stage, past decision point 1, and I think we will be carrying on. I'm just waiting on the latest forecast, which is due any minute. If that's all in line, then it'll be a go to head to the other side.
Hello, can you hear me where you are? I search for ways to come to you. I wish I knew today the hollow shells and cold swallowed all the birds I flew all to you. I know like daylight. My darling.
3 p.m. and we're across the Gulf and we're running down the coast. We'll run parallel to the coast until we get to the toe, and then we'll veer off a little bit to the south, which will put us on a course for Syracuse. Yeah, the Gulf was hardly much wind at all. We're pretty much motor sailed the whole way. Got the code 0 and the main up. Sometimes the breeze comes in enough. We've got a little sea breeze actually at the moment, which is completely opposite to what the gradient breeze is. I think what is happening, we've got tall mountains on our starboard side. Wind's getting blown over the top, and you're getting a bit of a back eddy, which is the normal sea breeze sort of action happening. So you've got the wind rotating around, which is forming some great looking clouds over there. I'll give you a look in a sec. And so that's going to bring some thunderstorm activity. In fact, behind us there's a big bit of cloud which wasn't there this morning, which is sitting over where we left, and we can see lightning happening over there. So I'll be surprised if we don't have some of that action here as well. We certainly had some lightning and rain when we came along this coast a few months ago on our way to Greece. Just gone 6 o'clock and we're 25 nautical miles from the, well, I'm going to call it the end of the toe as it starts to turn around and up the Messina Straits. So at current rate we're probably another 4 hours, so what does that make, 6:10 p.m. We'll start to enter into the strait. Really, I wouldn't say we're in the strait. To me, the Messina Straits more up where it gets close in, but I'm expecting that we'll get a little stronger breeze. So that's just what we've got to be cautious of. Right at the moment, we're not seeing any electrical storms along the coast here, but a few of these clouds have been building all day, are starting to drop. And you can see the rain up in the hills, and as they drop we sort of get bursts of air coming across the water, which is helpful. We're still motor sailing, and I think we'll continue to do that just to keep our speed up until we enter the strait. Looked at the lightning tracker, and oh my goodness me, thank goodness we left our anchorage this morning. It got absolutely smashed up that coast today. Not sure what the winds would have been like, but there was lightning strikes all around it. So glad we moved. How you going, honey?
Oh, I'm doing well, honey. Look. Nearly finished. Oh, finish tomorrow. And I love starving. Look, land's only just in sight, and I'm on Facebook. It's been a good day.
Well, we're ripping along now. Not sure whether this will get stronger as we go out into the strait, or might back off a bit. Just don't know whether it's been funneled through here over the hill, because back there was nothing. Anyway, we have a little, once we get around this first point, we have a little bit of protection. I think I might put one reef in the main now. We don't need a full main for the speed that we've got. If we keep this sort of speed up, we'll be in Syracuse for breakfast.
Nearly. Glad you're up. Getting close. Sunshine's beautiful. Syracuse.
Well, that was quite the evening. As soon as we got around the edge of the toe, the wind picked up. There was a huge thunderstorm on the end of the toe that went most of the night. And I reckon we probably had over 30 knots on the beam. One stage, we still had the code 0, well, up, not unfurled but up, and that started flapping at the top.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't feel very tight, so I had to get up on the foredeck and pull that down, and that was bloody hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the top of the headsail of the Code Zero was catching the wind, and so I was having to pull against that to get the sail down. Anyway, we got that down and sailed most of the night with one reef in, and I think you did the watch from about 1 to 3. And Jude has a great calming influence, and when I came back on at 3,
It was peaceful. It was beautiful.
it was beautiful.
And there were stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the wind sort of died away a little bit, but then sort of turned around to sort of the northwest that we were expecting, and had a lovely little sail in. And I was expecting absolutely no wind coming into Syracuse this morning. But
We haven't got much, but what are we doing? 3 knots or something?
we did about 4.5, but
Okay.
earlier when it first came in, we were doing 6s and 7s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had a pretty quick run. So it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's what, 7 o'clock?
Yep.
We're about an hour away from Syracuse now.
Yep.
So the next thing is to look. It's a big harbour, and I'm sure we'll find somewhere to anchor. But there's a lot of boats in there at the moment, I think, prepping for bad weather later this week. So we'll find a spot and sleep.
Yeah. You're up a lot.
Yeah. And
Big
then-
day. So what are we at? 6:30 a.m. So we've already been going 25 hours. We had a couple of sleeps.
Yes, we hopped up at 5:30. Yes. Yeah.
But we did it.
Yeah.
Proud of us.
Yes. But the boat is absolutely covered in salt.
Yeah.
No chance of running out any salt for your dinner. You just rub your hand across the bottom of the rail and you'll pick up a couple of teaspoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting so used to coming into magnificent places like this. It still takes your breath away, but it's almost like coming home. The beautiful Syracuse. Boat with no name. I think we've seen that one before. Cayman Islands or something as the flag. But look what I found on the deck this morning. Little flying fish. I'm going to have to chuck him back, but I don't think he'll swim away. Honey. Anchored safely in Syracuse, and what a peaceful morning.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's lovely, and we just been greeted by
3 Aussies in a boat.
and a couple of dogs, cute dogs. Yeah.
People we've known online who we haven't met in person, which is lovely.
Yes.
They heard we'd come in, came to say hi.
Yeah.
Gee, after the conditions we had in the middle of the night, I didn't think we'd be arriving to such peace.
Well, I was expecting that wind to drop. Just thinking about it now, we really got into the strait probably about 2 hours ahead of what I was originally planning.
Thought that might have happened.
Yeah, and so anyway, we got. I can't get much footage because the moon was actually set, so it was a very dark night. But man, probably 35 knots and 2 to 3 metre seas.
He says probably because we still don't have any wind instruments, if you're wondering. We're just guessing.
It's a sailor's guess. And we just had one reef in the main, and we were on a beam reach, but the sea was on our starboard quarter. So we were sort of running a little bit with the wave and sort of going over it.
Except the waves that we didn't go over and they came over us.
Yeah, every now and again we'd just cop a big one and we'd sluice sideways and come back again. And they always come in a surface set of 3. But that was fine. We were fine.
And we had another problem with the Code Zero, which we've had before. and Richard did put in a fix. So when we took it down under in the strong wind, we furled it in those winds, and I think this is what happened last time.
No, we filled it this time in dead calm.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, and I think that could have been the problem.
Oh, there goes my theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was very baggy at the top and loose, and then when we got into the straight, because I was wanting to keep it up in the straight because I thought, well, the wind's going to die a bit later and we could use it. It just bagged open.
Just a little bit of bagginess, get some wind and it pulls it, makes it bigger and then makes it tighter, which allows some more wind to come in, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and noisy. So Richard had to climb out in those conditions and pull it in. Yeah,
you can't leave it. It'll eventually rip itself apart. So, yes, had to struggle to pull it in. And, of course, as it dropped, I'm pulling on the bottom of the sail, Helios up here, and I've now got this little mini spinnaker that I'm trying to pull
and
again.
I'm trying to release the halyard, but it's not wanting to go anywhere because it just wants to take us away on its own little sail.
So what was why I wanted you to release? Because when I was struggling, I was thinking, I'm not going to get this thing on board. Yeah. And you did a release, and it came in around behind the main, and then I could pull it in, and then it caught the wind again. And that's what I was trying to say to you, just release. Because I was thinking, as long as you don't drop it in the water, it's just going to blow out and it'll swing behind the main, and I can pull it, and it's less acts like a shoe. Anyway,
kind of thing we've never done before.
As you can see, we haven't debriefed on the ship because really we've just arrived.
Thank goodness for a nice calm day. Now we're going to try and pull it back in.
Lovely. So that's what Jordan was saying, is that you hold down on the clue to pull the leech down, and then if you can walk it forward, which is not easy for us when we're trying to put the Code Zero down. It's fine when you've got a full crew on a boat. So yeah, Friday morning. What's the time, honey? 10:18. So the wind's built up. I think we've probably got a good 30 knots coming through, 25 to 30. Sea state's not too bad, and sitting on the boat in this sort of conditions is okay. We're sort of veering back and forward, but we're probably 500 metres from the shore where the wind's coming off, so the sea state's not that big. And Don's holding well, so we're just sticking on ground. We were going to go into town this morning, but this wind has just built up, so we're going to stay here, I think.